It is days like today that I just want to say, Van Helsing, are you equipped to handle all these monsters? Because it seems like they're just coming out of the dirt. Sometimes I've just got to tell you this. I was raised on a farm. And from afar, sometimes you can mistake mud for manure. Got it? And, I don't know what they've been slinging. And yes, there's cat whiskers here. They leave them for me, and it's a blessing for all of us. I don't know what these people and these Karen Reed and Turtleboy lawsuits, and especially the cops now, the troopers and all this other stuff, I don't know what they're slinging. Is it mud or is it manure? Because you know what? It's the whole damnly people that are here that, I don't know where to start, except that I can say this. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not law enforcement. I'm not a medical professional. I'm a forensic profiler, and meaning tarot or card profiler. And because there's so much going on, I want to really look at some individuals. I want to look at timelines. I want to look at beyond. Because I've said it over and over again. If you ever followed me during the Karen Reed trial, I have said that I believe there's a divine inspiration over Karen and over Turtleboy, aka Aiden Carney. Reason being is because if it weren't for Karen Reed and Turtleboy, we would never know. We would have never known these things. And early on, many were like, oh my gosh, if the feds are involved, they need to arrest people now. Yes, they do. I agree. However, the feds are just like, they're like that Sunday gravy that's been sitting on the back burner. Yeah, it's been sitting on the back burner for a few years now, but they're sitting on the back burner and they're waiting for all of this to come out. Be patient. Be patient. I've missed this card group for Karen Reed. After all, we may have to get back into semi-daily updates for them again, as well as Nancy Guthrie. We've not left her. We have the House of Zelda deck. We have the Kipper. We have the Cartomancy. And we have the Mythic Tarot. We're going to move my key of protection. At this point, any help we can get, right? Any help we can get. I'm not even going to repeat some of the text message. Michael Proctor, I'm sure they're easily found if you want to watch them. The moment that I heard that Michael Proctor and whomever were tossing off, okay. Look at what we have that just dropped out. Missing information, the key to unlock information. We're going to put our key on top of that. Thank you. That is a Vale Caven key, a Vale Keep key. What's coming up now? Show us now the energy for, pardon me, there's noise in the background. Okay, worker men outside, and I think they plan it. All right, here we are. The one thing that I want to gently remind former trooper, possibly, I don't know, can we maybe say, no, we're not going to say that. Do you remember when you got on TV and you were asked if you could do it all over again, what would you do? And Proctor says, I wouldn't change a thing. I wonder how he's thinking now. I wonder what his wife is thinking now. And you know who I feel sorry for? The children. Sergeant Good resigned just in time, I'm sure, after he was advised by the powers that be that these things were coming out, so he would not have to resign in disgrace. This is getting interesting. All right, a new pathway is ahead for sure. We're going to put these to the side in case we need to consult with them again. Wisdom is needed is for sure, because the one thing I want to gently advise you is do not allow the anxiety and the emotion overtake common sense in these lawsuits. You got to keep your head on your shoulders. You got to keep it together. Why? Well, because we're watchmen. And, if we crash out and we have all these, flipping out and all this other stuff and blah, 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 you know what? We just might miss something. And that happens more often than not. There's more law enforcement that is going to be called to the front. I'm going to tell you that right now. More is coming. Wealth and abundance, I'm going to tell you what I do believe. I do not believe that that is a monetary or money wealth and abundance. I believe there's going to be a wealth of more information and abundance of more information. And I believe some of these lawsuits are going to be changing directions just because Proctor alone is single-handedly bringing everyone that was surrounded with him down with him. Misery loves company. Birds of a feather, or birds of a feather flock together. So do pigs and swine. Rats and mice have made their choice, and oh, have I made mine. And I want you to remember that, because if you ever want to know about the law of attraction, you look at these things, because they are the prime example of how you can attract. Because just because you say manifest and law of attraction doesn't mean you're attracting the good. And that's exactly what Proctor has done. There's good there, there's Tully, there's many others. And then there's those who deny it. Like, is it D.A. Greg O'Connor? Oh, I didn't know anything about it. Bull. Sorry, he belongs in the big book of Bull. There's an email that was addressed to him amongst others that basically said, we have to talk about Proctor's personal texts. You see, the Ham defendants, we've graduated from the Mick defendants, from the McHouse defendants, to now, I'm going to call them the McHams. This is going to have the trickle-down effect. And I saw something earlier today, but we're going to wait and see what cards come out before I share that with you. It is definitely time to look over, or to look closer, not to look over this. This law enforcement detective, you're going to see something come out about this that is thoroughly and totally disgusting. It has not happened yet, and it will. There's another, not a new, but an additional pathway ahead that will be lit on the way. Because believe me, once you start digging in these, if you're looking for something, you're going to find it. That's really what it really amounts to. And we have a lot of good citizens out there that have answered the call of saying, look, no, something more to this. This is just too funky. No. And what about all this evidence from the first and second Karen Reed trials? And how about Turtleboy's trials? Aiden's trials? He's still facing trials. Now, they have filed what they call anti-SLAPP. Now, again, I'm not attorneys or an attorney, but both of them, Karen Reed and Turtleboy, have filed an anti-SLAPP. Means it's I believe that it is a motion for dismiss. And I do believe that some of these judges are taking them under advisement. Listen, if these hammy people, and these cops don't know what's good for them, I say bring it on. Then we have Colin Albert, who seemingly joined the military. Okay, thank you for your service. Okay. Now, he has refused to be deposed, is my understanding. That means to give depositions. He's getting ready to go to boot camp, and then he's going to be gone. Now, I'm not so sure why you would want to join the military at this juncture. I mean, in the middle of all this. Except that perhaps you may feel a certain protection, in which I have to advise having some military background, not as a personnel, but as a dependent, but knowing enough to know enough, I know enough, that doesn't save you from anything. It just delays it. It just delays it. And I'm sure that the sergeants and, he's got to go through boot camp yet. So, I don't know. We'll keep a watch. We'll keep vigil on that. But, these people, in my opinion, feel that they are just above this. The McHam defendants, basically have said now they're not going to be ready to be deposed until at least mid-July. Why? Can you imagine if Karen Reed or Turtleboy did that kind of nonsense? The judge is going to get put out by this. Except that I wonder, and we're going to keep going. Let's see. Change. And here's the funny thing. Here's the change. Here's change. This privileged lady represents Karen Reed. Oh boy. And no, Karen's not going to prison because, well, that pretty much tells us that there may be someone going to the big house because of their behavior around the other house, which is 34 Fairview, Canton, Mass. It's kind of amazing, isn't it? House on the outside looks pretty good, and then when you get on the inside, you just don't know what vibe is there. I want to find out. I want to go. I'll let you know if I'm able to go. I, of course, will have to speak to the owners, of course, and we'll see what they say. Obviously, I'm not going to trespass or anything like that. Now, this is telling us here that someone, now look how this, wait, where is Moisha, my Torah pointer? Hello? And yes, Proctor, if you're watching, this is a Jewish tool. It is a Torah pointer, just FYI. And it's amazing because look, we have 34, and then their 34 Fairview shows up. And this whole thing, entire thing, the privileged lady, that is Karen. But right now there is a married, you see how, now this is how I want you to read, okay? As in not Karen Reed, but read the cards. The detective that was closest to Karen, and you see how we're going to, you can just do a big W just like this, and it will encompass everything. That's why I read multiple decks at the same time. So this detective or this law enforcement officer that was close to Karen and by trade There was a law enforcement officer, but there was a change. You get it? I would guess, I have to say it this way because, it is always entertainment purposes only. If you know, you know. And so this is Karen. This person is right now married. I don't know how long that's going to last because this person, as we go through here, is receiving the highest honor he possibly can, and it's not very good. So just because it's a high honor doesn't mean that it's a good honor. It means that you've been brought to the limelight, Proctor. Not saying anything that anyone doesn't know. And I wonder now what's going to happen with all those Proctorites for the proctology. Okay, here is the house now. So someone, now, am I a judge? Am I a lawyer? Am I in law enforcement? No, but I think I believe the more they come out with these things, the greater chance that there is some type of incarceration that is going to have to come. Because lying, manufacturing, now, who here now does not believe that those, how many pieces, the 40-some pieces of tail light that was found in the front lawn of 34 Fairview Road, Fairview Drive, Fairview Road, was not just placed there? Who believes that? Now, not I. Listen, I still feel that something, remember the rock that was out in the front that said Alberts, that was out in the front lawn when the jury visited there? Oh, something about that rock is about to come out. Now, I hope and pray that the owners of 34 Fairview have Ring camera and they can see who placed the rock there. Don't be surprised. Don't be shocked because it's coming. Let's see what's happening now. Right now, this is a lot about Karen Reed. And that is Karen Reed is the Queen of Cups. That is a water sign equivalent to the Queen of Hearts in the Cartomancy. Sorry, that was the kitty. That is Petey making his rounds because I'm making a video. And you can't be quiet while mommy's making a video. So here we are, the Three of Cups. And this Three of Cups is technically a celebration. And I'm going to say this. Don't be mad. Don't be mad at all these things because didn't we all surmise this? We knew what Proctor was in that regard. So I will take my little Jewish tool and I will point over here toward the Proctorite and I will say the Three of Cups is a celebration and that is close to Karen, and that, my darlings, will be a celebration that is coming for Karen Reed's team. And I believe it will trickle over to the Turtleboy team as well. This Six of Swords. This is going from choppy waters into much calmer seas. I think the longer we go on here, the lawyers that are involved on the opposite sides of Karen and Turtleboy, and I'm going to say it like that, are realizing they're having that oh crap moment. When you're driving around in the car and that handle above the driver's or the passenger door, that's for you to grab. If something starts happening when you're driving down the road, you can grab it and you say, oh crap. Well, I think they're starting to grab onto the handles now. They're having that oh crap moment. Because this Ten of Cups is the celebratory, and it's right on top of Karen Reed's card. And it's this whole card that basically says, it's all about home. It's all about family. It's all about not only doing the work for them, but it's doing the Lord's work. The Nine of Cups is the yes card. That's for Karen. That's for Turtleboy. Yes, they've got a long road to hoe. But I'm going to say this. With this, you see how this is going here? It's falling in line. Now this Four of Swords, very interesting card. The Four of Swords comes at a very interesting time because amongst the muck, the mire, and the mayhem, there is peace. There has to be some inward celebration today. As disturbing, despicable, and despising and disgusting these texts and forms of communication, and we talked about that the other day, there's communication coming out, and there's more to come. There's peace within. There's peace within the camps of Turtleboy and of Karen Reed to a certain degree. Because this now shows, even though we all knew, this is the receipts. This is the proof. The peace, taking a moment, taking a breath, not quite a spa moment, but this Knight of Pentacles indicates to me more than anything that the state of Massachusetts may be raising their taxes. If you live there, look out. Because there's going to be so many lawsuits filed, and there will be payouts coming to many individuals. They got to pay it somewhere. It just doesn't come from anyone. And it will be coming from the residents of that state, and especially the counties of which all of this has derived from. Do I think that's fair? Absolutely not. Do I hope that I'm wrong on that? Oh, absolutely I do. But this is a very interesting card in itself, this Hermit fellow. Look at him. The Hermit, a very earthy individual. Doesn't mean he's good, doesn't mean he's bad. He's just planted here on this earth. He has a sickle. He's going to take matters into his own hands, and he needs a little light to light the way. Now, in the original card, he's actually holding the six-pointed star of Solomon. But in this rendition, it's very interesting to me because there's no on top of the mountain. He is among the mountain. But what is this and who is this? Well, it's the sign of Virgo, and Brian Albert is a Virgo. More is coming. More is coming. We haven't even touched base on what's coming for Jennifer McCabe yet. I mean, because now they're just trickling downhill. And I want you to know that those Proctor supporters, and even though those ones from the ham section, are they refrigerated? No, the ham section wrote all these letters in support of Proctor has gone silent. He wouldn't change a thing. Sometimes I don't even feel sorry for the wives. Yes, you can say what you want about. I don't. Because there had to be some indication of who these women are that are married to these. They're not even men. They're vile. They're the part of the lower astral. That's what I call it. They're not even alien. Aliens, and I'm talking about ufology, the aliens have a purpose take me to your leader purpose. What is the purpose of these gents? No, they're not even that. So far we have, oh look, we're getting some repeats now. Interesting, my darlings, because I've always said the fours, well, they're not a happy card, but they're here to tell you, yeah, it's not looking so good. In my way of reading the Cartomancy. It's kind of funny, because here we are with more players, and I'm just going to say that definitely that is Proctor, but Colin Albert shows up. And why does he show up? Well, there's a third-party interference that is interfering. Do you think someone advised him to now's the time to go into the military? And perhaps that will make you look good if you're fighting for a country. I don't know. I don't know. Those are just questions to the cosmic unknown, I suppose. This 4 of diamonds is here because it is a card of doubt. For any of you who are doubting and saying, oh, nothing's going to happen. Nothing is going to happen to these people. Nobody's going to go to the jug. No, Zelda. No, you are wrong. I want you to go back and revisit some of my Karen Reed readings. It was daily for almost 2 years. I may have been wrong sometimes, but I was right a lot of the time. It's not me, it's the cards. The energy and the numbers and the cards don't lie. And we're reading the energy of this situation. Some decisions are about to be made. These people still will not admit of what they did, that they're wrong, that they may be even a so-and-so. They're not going to admit that. Why should they? They already know it. So does the majority of the world at this point. Were they gambling of this situation? Oh, yes. This is not a casino gamble. This is a gamble, a life gamble. It is a risk. Is there a win ahead based on the cards we have around? And the answer is no. No, there's not a win. There's not a win. Ironically enough for me, Turtleboy doesn't show up yet. We're looking at him, but I believe a lot of this does point more so to Karen. But yes, Turtleboy is still involved, and it still does affect him. And I've said it the last time, I'm going to say it this time. Some of you out there may believe that Karen is guilty. Some of you out there may not like Turtleboy. Regardless, they still have a constitutional right. Yep, in this great United States, they have constitutional right. Free speech, fair trials, all of the above. And you can actually not like maybe even actions, but that still doesn't, I believe that we should all wish for everyone fairness. Look, some people don't like me and my readings either, and that's okay too. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. If you're watching this to see what's happening, and I get it. But this is not a good card. I would tell you if I thought Proctor or any of the Ham defendants were right and were going to win. And my darlings, I have not seen it. I've not seen it. I don't see it. I've not seen that Karen would be guilty, and I predicted Karen's right along, even down to the mistrial. They wanted to nail her. And when it comes out who was behind Proctor, planting everything, because, the Ham defendants now are pushing, they want a lot of this information to be squelched, not to be made public. Well, does that not make you wonder why? The frustration that is coming, the difficulty now that will Proctor ever work again? That's my question. Certainly not in law enforcement. Good, possibly the same. Tully, who knows? They can all go start their own private detective services. Dear God. Now, Proctor is going to come out, I believe, at some point and say this is some type of jealousy from Karen Reed. This is some type of jealousy from Turtleboy. And remember, he's the one who said, and I think his wife said, that she was scared of Turtleboy. Dear Jumpin' Jollies, a man like you, Proctor, have no fear. And yet, what did you fear? Really? The truth? But he's going to come out and say, oh, this whole thing was just a misunderstanding. It's just jokes among friends. You should not have really seen our personal text. And that's why I've always said for years, never do anything that you don't want put on the front page of the Sunday paper. Because, my darlings, even if you do have a joke among friends, someone can misinterpret it, but these are no jokes. These are no jokes. This 10 of Hearts, we have a 10 of Cups here. That matches the 10 of Hearts. This is all about home. Now, will this situation affect Proctor's home? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, it will. And will it affect... And are there third-party interferences, not only with Colin, but with Proctor? Oh, yes. Good, too. There's an indecision today in which way to take this. Does it surprise you that earlier on Proctor could not find an attorney after his attorney left him when he was going through that, trying to get reinstated? Does it surprise you? I mean, attorneys do have reputations. Let's get out one more card. Well, let's look at the bottom. It's all about timing. Yes, it is. And I'm going to tell you right now, my darlings, from mid-July until the end of, from mid-June till the end of July, buckle up. There's going to be things thrown at the judicial system that is just going to make our heads pop off and spin wherever. It's all about timing. So be prepared. There's that 6 weeks period within there this summer that everybody is going to say, oh, whoa. Let's grab another card here, my darlings. Seek more knowledge. Oh, yeah, they're looking for more. More is coming out. Absolutely, for sure. Let's look at the bottom. What is usually hidden? Toil and labor. Oh, yeah. This has been a very laborious and costly endeavor for both Karen Reed and Turtleboy. But I have to wonder, who's been footing the bill for the McHam defendants? Ham, doesn't that crack you up, though? Wasn't it special prosecutor Hank Brennan who took favor to ham sandwiches? Hank's Ham Sams, right? Remember that? Wonder what we're going to see from his side of the aisle. I wonder. Toil and labor. Amazing. Now, let's not forget who really is at the center of all this, at the root of all this, and that is fallen officer John O'Keefe. He did not fall in the line of duty, but he fell, he fell at the house, and I'm not even going to say more than that, but it was at the house of 34 Fairview Road, and was placed on the lawn. And for those of you who may have forgotten, that man lost 3 liters of the red liquid that we have in our bodies. Where did that go? Where is that? Because the investigation was botched, in my opinion, and it's now legally coming out that it was, they did not go in and look for any type of DNA, any type of spatters, any luminol, anything, but there was stuff that were found in the basement. Why would you take carpet and dig up the floor of the basement and sell the house if nothing happened? And I submit to you, my darlings, that there is stuff still there. And definitely, I know who is still there, energy-wise. That is looping. It's looping. What's on the bottom of this? 5 of Swords. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That whole idea of the beginning of possibly, sorta, kinda, maybe, thinking, amazingly, that you were winning. That you're taking the ability from someone that may have won, but it's this conflict and then taking that ability. Well, let me just say this. This is the winning part, and then all of a sudden is the 6 of Swords, where it's the transitioning from the choppy water into a much calmer seas. The swords, my darlings, are air elements. There are thoughts, there are emails, texts, conversations, telephone calls even. And the 7 of Wands, that fiery element. The fiery element that says, look here. So yes, the fight breaks out. It ensues. And we're in the middle of it, and we're watching, my darlings. Last but not least is this 6 of Diamonds. More paperwork coming out, and it's my understanding as of right now, Karen Reed has filed another either lawsuit or something, approximately 87 pages. I've not had time to get into that yet. That's going to be really, really amazing. But this is going to also include a lot more information. There's a warning if you read between the lines in this lawsuit. I have not even seen it yet, but take heed. Look at it carefully. See how it is written. I'm not a lawyer, but I believe that this will reference a lot of the communications that we've been seeing so far, and then some. And then some. This is going to be an expansion on what has already happened. And this 6 of Diamonds, also air element, all about communication, tells us, and we may even see reference to some telephone calls in that. Isn't that amazing? Here we are. I'm always amazed by the cards. This is the 3 of clubs. The club that talks about stability. And I take a big breath because it's progress that we're seeing happen. As hard as it is, there's more coming, my darlings. And again, mid-June, get ready. Early, I'm serious. Next week, get ready. Mid-June, end of July, there's progress, but this, hang on to this card because this is all about help is coming from others. Do you think there's another lawyer that may have some information that they can provide? I don't know. But I can tell you right now what you can provide me, and that is your help. If you'll please subscribe, it's free. Hit that like button, that's free as well. I would love to have you. And I want to thank you for being here and watching. Join me tonight for Season 2, Episode 3 of the hit series, Help, I'm Haunted. I cannot wait to see you tonight. Thanks for watching, everyone. We're going to keep an eye on things. Bye for now.